Hi guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Jo and I'm actually going through the card I pulled for yesterday, but whenever you're watching this, this is your card. And I pulled the Queen of Swords, and I really feel like the continuation of each day's pull really starts to tell a story. So this queen, she is not cold because she lacks no feeling. She is clear because she has felt deeply enough to stop abandoning herself. And when she enters a reading, there's often a sense that something inside you is sharpening, like fog is lifting, emotional static is clearing, illusions are becoming harder to tolerate. You can no longer unknow what you know. And she is the woman who survives enough heartbreak, confusion, disappointment, betrayal, projection, and emotional chaos that she has finally learned the sacred art of discernment. And discernment is love. It is self-love. Not the soft, dissolving kind of love. The kind that says, no, this is not good for me. I see what is happening here. I will not shrink to keep the connection alive. So the queen sits upon this throne in the realm of the mind. See the air, the realm of air. It's communication, it's truth, perception, thought, language, clarity. Her sword is pointing upwards and almost like pointing up to the higher wisdom. She cuts through the distortion, through manipulation, through fantasy, through the emotional smoke screens. And this card often appears when Spirit is asking you to stop romanticizing what hurts you and to stop negotiating with your own intuition. The Queen of Swords knows that confusion often is the first sign that something is misaligned. She values honesty over comfort, truth over performance, integrity over attachment. And yet, like beneath all of this kind of steel, there is this immense sensitivity here. You see her hand gesturing as, you know, come closer, and people like often misunderstand her. They see the boundaries as and assume like bitterness. They see the distance and assume cruelty. They see the intellect and assume emotional detachment. But this queen is deeply emotional. She simply refuses to let emotion drive the entire carriage anymore. And she's learned that what happens, you know, when there's empathy without boundaries. She's learned what happens when compassion turns into self-erasure. She's learned what happens when you continually hand people scissors and ask them not to cut you. So now she observes. She listens carefully. She notices patterns instead of promises. The Queen of Swords is highly perceptive. She reads energy between the lines. She notices tone shifts, inconsistencies, emotional avoidance, half-truths, performative vulnerability. So she can often sense when someone is disconnected from themselves, even if they're saying all the right words. And because of this, this card can sometimes represent emotional maturity that was born through painful experience. You know, this is someone who has had to rebuild themselves after mental, difficult experiences. Someone who has had to learn how to think clearly after periods of like emotional overwhelm, trauma, gaslighting, grief, chronic self-doubt. Sometimes this card appears after heartbreak because it represents the moment someone finally chooses themselves. Like not dramatically, not loudly, but quietly, cleanly. She cuts through the noise. And she's not a queen that chases closure from people who enjoy keeping things confusing. She creates closure through clarity. So this card can also ask, where are you being asked to become more objective? Are your emotions distorting your perceptions? Are you seeing someone's potential instead of seeing their behavior? Are you abandoning the logic because you fear losing connection? Because this queen, she reminds us that intuition is not just a feeling. Sometimes intuition is our common sense that we keep trying to like override. In relationships, this queen can like represent someone intelligent, independent, observant, emotionally guarded, honest, selective with their energies, very discerning, someone who values direct communication and emotional accountability. So she teaches emotional sovereignty, the ability to remain compassionate while protecting your peace, the ability to love without losing yourself, the ability to say, I can understand your pain and I can still choose distance. There is like enormous power in this card because it represents the integration of wisdom and feeling, not naive softness, not hardened isolation. Wisdom, clear-eyed, clear mind, clear boundaries. And perhaps one of the deepest messages of this card, the Queen of Swords, is that your clarity is sacred. Do not betray it just because someone else is uncomfortable with the truth. Thank you for being here. Please let me know in the comments how this card resonated for you, and may you be blessed. May you find your wonder, and join me for the next card. See you soon.